Happy Friday, troop. This week we covered a lot of ground. We talked about keeping your mindset steady, talked about prepping your week with purpose and tightening up the habits that keep you in the fight. We also broke down some VA claim essentials, the fully developed claim, the Nexus letter, and why consistency across your records can speed up your claim more than really anything else. So if you missed any of that, be sure to go check out those videos and the posts from earlier this week. Get some information that could save you months of frustration if you're working on a disability claim. Tonight's Fireside Friday is all about pulling it together, your mindset, your mission, and your momentum. I want you to picture something for me for a second. Shoulder to shoulder, shovels in the dirt, sweat stinging your eyes from the 102-degree Afghanistan days, packing sandbags. Every single one feeling heavier than the last. Canvas scratching against your raw hands because you probably didn't bring your gloves, your boots sinking into the earth, sand inching up your socks, no breeze, no shade, no mercy. Just the rhythm of loading sand, tying bags, and stacking them high, knowing that could be the only thing between you and whatever came. Every veteran carries sandbags, and I'm not talking about the ones that we stacked in HESCO walls or the ones we dragged through the mud in PT. I'm talking about the invisible ones, the emotional weight that we keep tucked away where nobody can see it. Guilt, regret, anger, expectations, memories, all that weight steadily building up a barrier that we hope will keep us safe. But those sandbags aren't protecting anything anymore. They're just weighing you down and keeping you from being able to move forward. Today's topic is releasing those sandbags. This is our Friday Fireside. Downrange, sandbags had a purpose. They held your last line. They were the last line of defense between yourself and the chaos of the war that was outside. They were something that you could rely on to fall back on when everything else was blowing up. But after service, those same instincts kind of get twisted. Those sandbags you're carrying now aren't physical, they're emotional. They're mental. They're things that you picked up along the way because you thought you had to. Some of them come from deployment. That changes everything automatically. Some of them come from the people you lost or the choices that you wish you made. Some come from the person that you thought that you'd be by now, a version of yourself of life that just isn't matching. And some of the heaviest sandbags are the expectations that you put on yourself. The pressure to be fine, the pressure to perform, the pressure to hold it all together because you don't want to be the one who cracks. We don't just carry these things so we grip them with white knuckles. Like dropping them would make us weak. Like that's failure. But what happens when you hold on to these things for too long, you get tired, you get worn out, you start feeling like no matter how hard you push, you're not moving anywhere because you won't. You might not even realize what's slowing you down. You just feel the drag. Maybe it shows up in your patience, maybe in your relationships, maybe in the way that you shut down instead of opening up. Maybe in that numb feeling you get when you're going through the motions. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you're weak. It's just because you're carrying weight you were never meant to carry alone. And you're carrying it into a life where it no longer belongs. It doesn't serve you anymore. The sandbags begin to feel familiar, and what's familiar feels safe, even when it's not. You have to have a shift. This is something that I had to learn the hard way. Letting go isn't failure. It's movement. Releasing the sandbag doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean dishonoring anyone. It doesn't mean that you pretend that nothing happened. It means acknowledging that you deserve a little space to breathe. It means giving yourself permission to stop reliving the same moments on a loop. It means forgiving yourself for things that you had no control over. It means stepping out of your old patterns that your nervous system still thinks that you need. Then listen, you don't have to cut it all loose today. You don't have to unload every single sandbag that you've collected. Just pick one, just one. Name it so that you can acknowledge it. Then you can start to loosen your grip. That's where the shift starts to begin. It doesn't have to be some massive dramatic moment, but just one decision to finally stop carrying what no longer serves you. If nobody has told you this lately, let me be the one. You do not have to carry all of this by yourself. Not now, not ever, not anymore. Veterans are strong, but strength was never supposed to mean silence. And it was never supposed to mean dragging every piece of your past into your future. Release what's weighing you down. Let go of one sandbag today. Give yourself the chance to rise again, to drive forward. We've got your 6. Hey, Troop, if this helps you or it might help someone do me a favor. hit the like and subscribe on our TikTok and YouTube. The more we grow, the stronger this safety net becomes for the next veteran who needs it. Charlie Victor.